orgasmic enlightenment, where the sexual and spiritual come together. I'm Kim Anami, and I'm a holistic sex and relationship coach and a vaginal weightlifter. In this show, we explore all things intimate. I believe that our sexual energy is life force, creative energy, and we can use it to shape our worlds, strengthen our relationships, and self-actualize. I blend the most avant-garde information from neuroscience, ancient sexual practices like Tantra and Taoism, to renegade wellness modalities to show you how to create gourmet sex in your lives. Come one, come all. The holy fuck, the alchemy and the ecstasy. You know what my favorite thing about sex is? You might guess that it's the orgasms or the pleasure or the connection with my partner. And those things are great and worth the price of admission. But no, my favorite thing about sex, really, really good gourmet sex, is how it changes me as a person. One of my all-time favorite passages in a book is from a Murakami novel called Norwegian Wood. And the quote is, "What happens?" It's actually a conversation between two people. One says, "What happens when people open their hearts?" And the response, "Reiko clasped her hands together on the table, cigarette dangling from her lips. She was enjoying this. They get better," she said. And that's it. Fuck them till you change them. This is the essence of the alchemical, life-changing, holy fuck. My big barometric question to people is always, is sex a deeply pleasurable, ecstatic, transformative, and self-actualizing experience for you? Did it change your life? If not, you're doing it wrong. This idea of le petit mort, the French concept of orgasm as the little death and rebirth, spoke to me early on. That sex was a place to transform, change, rebirth, come to, as in awaken from a slumber. And somehow I intuited this at an early age, that the fuck was my salvation, and that if I truly gave myself to it, I would be delivered. I trusted the fuck, and the fuck has not let me down. There is an art to this phoenix fuck, the fuck that changes everything. It's not for the faint of heart or genitals. It will ask everything of you. During my very first epic sex weekend many, many years ago, holed away in a cabin in the forest away from everything but each other, time and space opened up. My vagina opened up, my heart opened up, and the whole world changed. If you think that your entire purpose here on this planet is to learn how to love, which I do, then the very best outlet and learning arena for you is your intimate relationship. And the very best use of that relationship is as a deep, obliterating, prioritized sexual connection. Because when you are vulnerable sexually and vulnerable emotionally, you tap into the rawest, most powerful form of energy, the creative and birthing power of the universe. So that weekend, as I fucked my lover on the couch and in the bed and on the kitchen counters and up the walls of that cabin, I kept opening a layer deeper and another layer deeper. And I went back to work on Monday, and everything about me was different. I felt different. I moved different. I spoke differently. I had this deep calm that wove itself around me and buoyed me like a protective aura. And nothing that I tried. This was all just emanating from inside of me. And I had this magnetism about me. Men were hitting on me constantly. They could sense viscerally, intuitively my openness, my softness. And so they hovered around me. And there were these holes in me prior to that I had been filling in other ways, through food, through substances, and those cravings evaporated. I only wanted to be filled by my lover again and again. His hands, his cock, his mind, all of it smashed my silly human parts to pieces, and all that was left was a more pure form of me. And I saw the same thing happen to him. He had been a heavy drinker when we met, heavy, like rock band, rock star heavy. And he had, you could say, a temper. And when we came together, these things also disintegrated in him, and a stronger, truer him emerged. We were able to recognize and love the dormant parts of each other, intellectually and genitally. And that love amplified our deepest selves and brought them more out into the world with confidence, with calmness. So his cock became my salvation, as all good cocks ought to be. He was able to penetrate my resistance, all of my hard edges, and coax them to soften or to give up and find something better to do. Now do you see why I love cocks so much? Because they are a direct pathway to God. And so are vaginas. My ability to open and envelop him, to draw him in deeply and hold nothing back, fed him. It made him a stronger man, a better man, though still a wild man. And now he can channel his wildness into my vagina where it was most welcome. Yes, a wild man is good to find. So I have heard and have at my disposal countless stories of this kind of human law defying transformation. And I see it all the time in my clients and in my own life. So after coming back from an epic 6-day sex date years ago, all kinds of stuff happened to me. This is actually the inspiration for my week-long orgasmic enlightenment retreats, was my own personal experience of one. So we were away in this remote, secluded place, completely separated from the regular civilian world. And we spent those 6 days fucking and swimming and hiking and yoga-ing, but mostly fucking, for hours all of the day and all of the night. And so from that week, many things happened. My breasts changed their shape and their size, and I fell in love with them all over again. My already pretty fit body became more sculpted and felt as though my inner self was fully expressed. And this reflected in my outer body being even more in alignment. My stomach and my legs had more definition. And while, yes, this could have been from the hours and hours of fucking and me also being staunchly devoted to fitness for many years, it was when I became so fully loved and well fucked that my body just coalesced into something different. And I've seen this over and over again as well in my clients, where they can't lose a stubborn last 10 or 15 pounds, and they become involved with someone and they apply these gourmet sex principles, and poof, these extra pounds just evaporate out of the blue. No diet, no fitness change, nothing. They don't do anything differently. They just love and fuck better. And whatever energetic weight they'd been carrying just lifted from their beings. It was just washed away. So after returning to civilization and from this epic 6-day sex date, I received a call early in the week with this massive financial offer and opportunity, like staggering. And again, it just fell into my lap because my lap attracted it. This is the alchemizing power of the holy fuck, where all of the sexual, creative, and birthing powers of the universe become heightened through us. These things flow in us and between us, and they line up with the life force of the universe, with divine love. And that's the threshold we hit, is divine love. What greater power is there? Like any spiritual practice, the holy fuck demands that you give yourself, you surrender, you open to something or someone greater than yourself. And it's in this combined sexual and spiritual opening that all great spiritual minds will tell you about, that the key to the universe is surrender, stepping aside, lifting this veil and allowing the divine flow, the Tao, the life energy of the universe, whatever you want to call it, to come inside you and work its magic. It's bigger and better magic than our human brains could conceive of on their own. As Carl Jung says, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. And this is exactly what we want. We ascend into the highest versions of ourselves. And if we have a conscious relationship, then we keep on ascending. And I spoke about this idea of the perpetual honeymoon effect in my podcast last week with Dr. Bruce Lipton. And if you haven't listened yet, I would highly recommend that you check it out. It's called Quantum Love and Healing. We talked about how you can stay in this state forever because science. In the Hindu belief system, the deity Shiva has the reputation of being the destroyer. It's a positive destruction, though, and eradication of all the things that keep us from knowing our true natures. Sexual exchange was considered to be one of the most powerful crucibles in which to conduct such transformation. So this passage is from a tantric text. Says Shiva, "Sex has the power of both illusion and liberation, depending on the participant's degree of conscious awareness. Sexual initiation is the selfless bestowing of one's sexuality on another," which I would interpret as surrender. When a person accepts a sexual act as a gift, exchanges take place on several different levels simultaneously. There is a physical exchange and blending of secretions, a psychological exchange of life energies and polarities and attitudes, a karmic exchange through a convergence of destinies, and there is a spiritual exchange, a communion between spirits. On the highest level, all of these exchanges add to the quality of the couple. During high acts of tantric sex, which I would consider to be conscious sex, karmas and unresolved personality conflicts can be totally transcended. So this last sentence is my favorite. It's the restating of this Carl Jung quote about alchemy. When we get to these high levels with each other, we actually burn off karma and patterns and defects that we've carried with us for years and sometimes ages, literally ages and lifetimes. We can dissolve them. Think about it. We're working with the creative power of the universe. It can burn away the dross and amplify the light, just like that. And then you find that the fuck won't just change your life, it will save your life, and it will help you live the life you were meant to. The Coming Together Salon is coming. Are you? This is my legendary 10-week conscious sex and relationship salon for couples. You'll learn everything you need to know about lifelong chemistry and passion, to energy sex, i.e. fucking your partner from across the room, to how to become a multi-orgasmic couple. Come one, come all. You can check out the free preview video series at kimanami.com under Sexual Savant Salons, and then look for Coming Together. And the next salon is going to be opening in about a week from now. So thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and a review, and consider sharing it with anyone else you think could use the holy fuck in their lives. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe and also leave a review. And send someone else the gift of a healthy libido and an off-the-charts love life by sharing this episode with them. We'll be back next week, and in the meantime, many happy orgasms.